Well, Rick, it's great to see you and to be back here in the ballpark. I'm curious, at what point did you first realize that fans in the stands might be a possibility this year?
Well, we're obviously monitoring the path of the pandemic and the data. And, when we started getting into January and February, we wanted to prepare for every contingency. And, our goal was always to get fans in the stands for opening day. We developed a plan. We were working on a plan that turned out to be over 500 pages. And then we had a lot of, weekly dialogue with the health department and submitted the plan. And from those discussions, we got to the 25% approval.
Right. That was the safety plan that you had to submit to the city of Milwaukee to get approval to come in. So 500 pages, where do you even begin with something like that? Who did you consult and what specifically did they look at to develop that plan?
Yeah, we basically consulted with local physicians, Major League Baseball, all of our operations personnel who have been obviously in discussions with not just MLB officials, but people at other sports venues, just to understand what protocols, procedures were being developed that were being considered to be receptive, state of the art, protective, reasonable, all that stuff. And there's so many different facets of our building and the operation. Is really a compendium of dozens and dozens of people, both employees, outside consultants, physicians, Major League Baseball, some of our consultants outside of the medical field who provided us guidance, and then we really put a comprehensive plan together.
Now, with that plan, it will be a different experience for the fans this year, right? They will be here, but there'll be everything from masking to social distancing to payments without cash.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've all had to adjust in the last year into a different mindset and frankly different protocols and how we interact with people. Our April 1 opening day will be the largest public gathering of people in the state of Wisconsin in over a year. So, with that comes some responsibilities for all of us and all of the fans. So, fans will have to come in socially distanced. They'll have to be masked and wear the mask except while in their seats, eating and drinking. We'll have to obviously, just be very cognizant of following all the protocols and rules. And the tickets will have a specific gate entry and a specific time to enter. So yeah, we're all going to be playing by special rules, and the goal is to do it safely, responsibly, still have fun, and then ultimately, show the health department and show ourselves that we can increase capacity safely, we can do it responsibly, and ultimately get to what our goal is, which is full fans in the stands.
What is your time frame for that? How realistic is that, and when do you expect to go to 100% capacity?
Yeah, I don't have a time frame because it's so far beyond just our own internal. If I could wave my magic wand, I would get rid of the pandemic. I'd have us win the World Series and a few other things. But I don't have that magic wand. So obviously we have to take guidance and direction from the health department. We have to watch the good trends in terms of the pandemic, in terms of high vaccines, low hospitalizations, low positivity tests. All of the metrics that we want to see continue to go in the right direction. That will help us, and I think guide the health department, and also help educate us in terms of what we can do. So again, I want to get to full stands as soon as we can. I think we can do it safely and responsibly, but we have to work in conjunction with the health department. And again, no specific time frame, because as we've learned, we have to be nimble, and the path of COVID sometimes dictates urgencies and priorities as opposed to us independently making those.
But are you planning for that to happen this season?
Yeah, my goal is to get to full fans, and I'm optimistic. And we certainly have plans in place. We have plans in place for other measures. If we can't get to full stands, if we can increase it from 25% to a higher percentage, we've got contingency plans in place. And it's a lot of moving parts, a lot of seating configurations, but we're prepared, to be as nimble and proactive as we can. And if the health department will allow it, we'll increase capacity.
Now, I hear the optimism there, but is there also a level of concern that you might have to pull back and allow fewer fans in the stands?
I guess we'll deal with every contingency. I'm optimistic. I think that as the vaccination rate increases and other metrics increase, we learn more about the health implications. I'm comfortable and confident that we can host more fans here. So obviously, we'll do it in conjunction with the health department, but I'm optimistic and I remain optimistic.
I saw at least one projection that had the Brewers losing around $178 million in game day revenue last year. Is that an accurate number?
Here's the thing. We lost all of our admissions revenue. Admissions revenue for the Brewers is our number one source of revenue. So, and obviously there was a severe financial hit. But, the reality is, we look at the jobs that were lost. We look at the loss of fan engagement. We look at all the health issues, and we look at all the people that perished during this pandemic. And, frankly, our focus really isn't on how much money we lost last year. It's more about how can we get fans back, engage our fans, create excitement, create some hope and opportunity, get some jobs created, and that's what we focus on.
From the business end, how crucial, though, is it for you to get fans back in here for the viability of the franchise?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the viability of the franchise. It's important to get fans back here because of the engagement that we have and the fact that our players respond well to fans in the stands. And absolutely, I mean, obviously every fan here, that's revenue to the bottom line. But the reality is it's so much more than just the revenue implications. We lost a year of real engagement with our fan base, and that's hard to deal with. And that's not easily recoverable, and we look for 2021 to re-engage and have a situation where our fans can come and enjoy the live product, because baseball is a great product consumed live. We have fantastic broadcasts on radio and television, including Hall of Fame talent on that area, but obviously we want people in the ballpark.
I want to go back to the fan experience and some of the changes, and one of the big ones, no tailgating to start the season. The team wanted tailgating to start the season, but that was not allowed by the city. So first, I'm curious, how will that be enforced? What's to stop someone from cracking open a drink out in the parking lot or hanging out in the parking lot before they come in?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think our fans overwhelmingly abide by the rules and are very responsible, and they behave very well. So I'm really not anticipating any kind of issue with fans deciding to tailgate. Everybody understands and knows that right now, at least for the time being, that there's no tailgating. So I think we've got parking attendants, we have parking security like we do for every game, and if somebody's unaware of the prohibition on tailgating or otherwise engages in conduct that we're not allowed to have them do, we'll politely but firmly tell them, listen, we love you, come into the ballpark, enjoy your beverages and food in your seat. But let's get in the ballpark. So I'm not anticipating any real problems in that area. I think it's just more of awareness and a reminder to fans, this is the rule that we have to live with right now.
And parking spaces will be staggered?
Yeah, every other space will be used.
To allow for distancing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the staggered entry times. Is that to cut down on lines?
Yes, we have so many points of entry, and frankly, with 25% maximum capacity, I'm not anticipating any lines, but again, what we decided to do is just get people situated so they didn't have to wait long in lines. I really don't anticipate a lot of lines because we're talking about between 11 and 12,000 people per game. And with so many entry points, I think people are going to come in with very little delays, but we wanted obviously to sort of regulate it. And again, this is sort of new for us too. We've never had a situation where we've had to really monitor this 6-foot distancing and other protocols. So just to be safe and be responsible, err on the side of sort of being very cautious, regulating the gate entry times. Again, I don't see any line problems, but if there are, we'll be perfectly staffed to make sure people keep their distance.
You are encouraging people to order their concessions through a mobile app or text message. No cash payments here in the ballpark, digital tickets. What if someone doesn't have the technology to accommodate that?
Yeah, it's interesting, based on all of our surveys in 2019, 90% of our fans access the ballpark through digital tickets. So, the very small percentage of fans that were used to paper tickets, they've gotten very comfortable in the last year when we try to do things digitally and have less contact, that we haven't had really any complaints about fans who are not understanding or not having access. There are measurements for if somebody does not have a smartphone or really has no other way, we can offer them paper tickets. But again, we have not had any inquiries to date for that, which I guess reflects the fact that in our society, everybody's got a smartphone. And cashless, again, most of our transactions already have been through credit cards. So again, we're migrating to 2021 for a completely cashless environment. We're going to have reverse ATMs at the ballpark, so people, if they do have cash, they can insert the cash into the machine and get a card to use for concessions. But again, I think people are adapting and people understand, and the goal here is, to come up with systems that make everybody safe with as minimal disruption as possible, knowing that it's going to be a little different.
Last year you had a shorter season than usual, much shorter, no fans in the stands. How many employees out here were out of work because of that?
Well, we obviously had some adjustments and some furloughs of full-time staff, and then all of our game day staff, all of our ushers, ticket takers, a lot of our cleaning crews, a lot of security, all those people who are part-time workers, there was no work for them. We did create a fund of $1 million to make sure that we could, at least in some small way, provide some financial relief to them. But the reality is, there's well over, 1.5 million hours of labor from part-time workers in any course of the season, and most of that was gone. So that's a lot of hours, it's a lot of pay, it's a lot of hardships on families. And one of the reasons we're so excited to bring fans back is I can staff. I've got a lot of staff here working opening day and for the rest of the month of April. And it's great to see them back. They're excited to be back. It's great that they, to employ them and have them back. It's a lot of familiar faces who have worked at this ballpark for 20 plus years, and then before that at County Stadium. It's like having old friends come back to the house.
With 25% capacity, how many employees are you bringing back? What percentage?
Yeah, well, we're staffing as if it's almost a full facility, because we're using all sections, all 4 levels. So think about it. We've got, every section of the ballpark will have fans in it. So we're going to have ushers, like we would for a pretty full game. We're going to have security, not quite for a full game, but obviously for a much greater than 10,000 people. Ushers, same thing. We're going to have a lot more staff. The reality is, the last time we had 10,000 people in the ballpark for a game was probably, 2004. So, luckily we haven't had that issue. We've always had, 20,000 or plus, but in this environment, we're overstaffing precisely because we're using all aspects in every part of the ballpark.
As we sit here today, the roof is open, the panels are open. What is the threshold? How much lower is it this year to allow for airflow, and should fans be prepared to maybe throw an extra layer on when they come in?
Yeah, we're going to definitely be more liberal this year in terms of keeping the panels and roof open. But the bottom line is we're not going to, keep the roof open and the panels open when obviously there's rain or the cold weather. I mean, the point is we're all in Milwaukee. We know what night games in April are like, and it can get down to the 40s and even lower. The roof will be closed, the panels will be closed with that kind of weather. And obviously, if it's sunny and we have a day game and it's 60 degrees, the roof will be open, subject to any threats of rain, things like that. So we're going to be more liberal. I do encourage people to dress for potential roof and panel openings when they might otherwise have expected to be closed. Good thing about Wisconsinites is that they adjust, and frankly, 60 degrees in April, people here will be in shorts and t-shirts.
And a lot of people, they get to the ballpark using bar, restaurant, and hotel shuttles. Some changes with that this year. They have to get approval from the City of Milwaukee Health Department, but they also have to be licensed through the Brewers. Why is there that second layer there?
There's always a permitting process for us, regardless of what the city's requiring this year. So we always permit the shuttles. It's a way to make sure that we monitor and manage how many shuttles, because we have separate drop-offs and pickups. And frankly, we need to make sure that they have insurance and other factors. So the fact that we're permitting them is something we do every year.
The Miami Heat in the NBA recently said that they will have vaccinated-only sections for fans. You said recently that right now the plan is not to have specific sections, but anything is on the table. Is that getting serious consideration here?
We're looking at everything. If another venue has a solution that can bring more fans in a safe and responsible manner, and it's logistically feasible, we're open to it. So whether there's vaccination sections or other mechanisms, I'm open to it. My goal is to get as many fans here as possible in a safe environment where people feel comfortable. And if that means having vaccination identity cards or sections with vaccinated folks, I'm certainly open to it. I want to listen and learn and try to apply best practices to what we do here.
Other than the safety protocols in place, like distancing and masks and all of that, will the game day experience pretty much be the same? sausage race on down the line?
Yeah, we're going to do things a little bit digitally and virtually, as opposed to, we're not going to have the sausages right off the bat be in the ballpark. Again, there are protocols in place so that we keep the ballpark and the playing field sort of sterile and keep a distance between, people, players, and uniform staff and our staff. So some things will be virtual that are used to be in the ballpark, but in terms of the scoreboard and music, first pitches, we'll do some first pitches here live. Won't be on the field. We'll have to do some things off the field. But there's going to be a lot of replication of a normal game day experience, because that's part of being at the ballpark, and we want to make sure that fans experience all of those points of engagement and entertainment as best we can.
I understand when you were working on your budget last year for this year that you actually had to come up with several budgets to try to accommodate the what ifs. How many did you have to come up with, and what scenarios did you find with those budgets?
Yeah, we came up with about a dozen budgets, all based on different attendance scenarios, and not just attendance scenarios in terms of raw numbers. It's when could we get to those attendance numbers. So you obviously have 6 months of the baseball season, and obviously different capacity measurements at different times have different economic implications for us. So we had to do a lot of work, and it was an exhaustive effort by a lot of people in our finance team. And the reality is, you go in and you have to be nimble, and you have to adjust. So we came up with a lot of benchmarks, a lot of projections, and we're also part of a league. So frankly, how the rest of the league does has indirect implications for us as well. So when you're trying to put numbers together, you just don't look at it as what's it going to be like in Milwaukee. We want to see what's going on in the league, because the rest of the league does have implications for how our financials work.
Is that why the team initially requested 35% capacity? Is that the break-even point?
No, we're not going to be break-even at that. The point, what we did was 35%, that was a way for us to socially distance our seating pods and still get the maximum number of people. So at 35%, we can socially distance our fan base so that everybody's meeting the 6-foot guidelines for our pods. And we recognize that most of the ballparks are not at 35%. Most are in the 20 to 25% range. So when the health department came back at 25%, that put us, frankly, squarely within sort of the bandwidth of what a lot of teams are accepting and dealing with right now.
Kenny Chesney was supposed to play here in May. That show has been postponed now. You have another concert coming up, the Motley Crue Def Leppard show, later in the summer. Realistically, do you think there will be a concert here, or potentially concerts this year at American Family Field?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the acts and the tour schedules, because as you know, we're just one venue of a multi-city and sometimes multi-country touring schedule. And the economics of these events mean they really need to have close to full fan capacity in these venues. The cost to run these concerts and to stage these concerts are considerable. And it doesn't really make sense, frankly, for these groups who can generate 44,000 people here to have a concert of 1/4 of the size of the people. So we'll wait and see. Obviously, the Chesney decision was made. I think that was the right decision given his early touring schedule. We've got a little later touring schedule for Motley Crue. Let's see how things go. And obviously, we'll defer to them, and they'll ultimately make the decision on whether to keep it or schedule for 2022.
Same ballpark, new name this year, American Family Field. We see the signage up, but how deep does that relationship go with American Family Insurance that fans may or may not see?
Yeah, we've been partners with American Family for over 25 years, and they've been a partner with us here, partner at County Stadium. Everybody focuses on the name, and I get that, and that's important because ballpark names mean something. They resonate. This is the house that the people paid for. So we have to be very careful with how we treat it. We got to be careful with it. We got to lovingly take care of it, and we have to make sure that the name is appropriate. So we proverbially hit the home run, I think, because we've got a great heritage brand, an American Family. They're a Wisconsin company, have been around for almost 100 years. Great relationships, great community partner. They're expanding their efforts in Milwaukee, both in terms of their commercial adventures as well as their charitable and community relations and community efforts. So great partnership. We're excited. We've got a lot of community things that we're trying to do. Some of it is going to have to be pivoted a little bit this year because some of the things we want to do we can't do until we have herd immunity or complete access to everybody. But I'm confident over the next 10 to 15 years that we'll have a full imprint and a full full embrace of all the community programs that American Family wants to do with us.
Let's talk about the name, because a couple of years ago you said that your job over the next 2 years would be to convince people that that the name will be the right name for this ballpark. Fast forward now to 2021. So what do you say to people who say this will always be Miller Park?
I've had people here who still refer to this place as County Stadium. And my philosophy is, listen, you know what, as long as you're a fan of the Brewers, as long as you're coming to the ballpark, supporting us, that's the most important thing. And obviously, I'm not going to be the language police. Whatever anybody wants to call it, I get it. The reality is names take time to sort of become part of the consciousness of the public. And I'm very comfortable saying that over time, people will get very familiar, very comfortable with calling it American Family Field. But absolutely, I mean, there's people in the office that slip up and still call it by the old name. I have to, remember, I've been calling it one name for 20 years, and now I'm calling it American Family Field. So, there's a little getting used to, absolutely. But, as long as people support the team and support us, I'm not worried about what they call the ballpark.
Rick, thank you very much. Good luck this season.
Thank you.